Some might say that Jesus was fleeing for his life, but that's not the case here. He wasn't fleeing for his life. He wasn't afraid of Herod. He knew that his time had not come yet. But what he needed, though, in this point in time, was he needed time to get away. He needed time to be alone. He needed time to grieve, to pray, to rest, to be with the disciples and hear about their experiences on the mission field and to teach them. He knew they also needed time to recharge their batteries, quite frankly. Everybody needs time to recharge their batteries every once in a while. Well, Jesus did too. He was here in flesh and blood, just like you and me. Jesus and the disciples, so what they did was they got into the boat and they crossed the Sea of Galilee to a desert place to be alone. Lo and behold, though, when the people heard that Jesus had departed, they started following him on foot. So what it says that 5,000 men gathered around this desert place to hear Jesus because he spoke with so much power that the hours had slipped away and the time had slipped by. And eventually what happened was the people became so hungry that they were all about to faint. They'd been gone to this desert place all day. They hadn't had any food, anything to eat. But they could not, listen to this, they could not resist hearing Jesus. We can't make it to lunchtime. They could not resist hearing Jesus. This is just crazy. Jesus has a mass of people of incomprehensible proportions beyond human imagination in a society that really doesn't have a lot of people back then. To gather at least 5,000 men, not to mention the women and children, is quite a feat. Consider with me for a second, though, Jesus, he didn't have a business card. He had no website. He had no radio ministry. He had no TV ministry. He didn't stream over the internet. He didn't preach with a microphone, and yet 5,000 men had gathered down in the desert to hear this man speak. So engrossed and so overwhelmed by what he is saying, they stayed there all day just to hear him speak. The Bible is quite clear when it says, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. So given the choice between the bread and given the choice between the word, they chose the word.